Hi, this is Matthew. We're going to do another Rolling Stones album review. We are now in 1986. They haven't done anything touring-wise because, again, Band of Satisfaction from before. It still carries over here. Mick Jagger also put out a solo album, which Keith Richards was not happy about. How do you go off and be a pop star when you have the band? And, he was coming out of the drugs that he'd been on. I think probably Charlie Watts had been on, I think, something too, but he was emerging. Mick Jagger was no longer just doing everything, and now they were clashing. So this album is a reflection of that, because is it blues rock, or is it dance new wave, stuff going on in the mid 80s? And there was a lot of dissatisfaction with, most of the band wasn't there half the time. They'd bring in other people. Just a lot of friction at this point with what was going on. But it is what it is. I thought it was pretty good. I liked a lot of the stuff that was going on in it. I liked instrumentally, and vocals weren't half bad. The instrumentation I thought was pretty good too. The electronic drum machines were a thing at this point, of course. Same with the last album. I think one track is on the 40 Licks off of here. The second track I don't recall hearing before, but I think there's one track on the 40 Licks album a while from now. And after this, I don't think there's anything until 89. There's no other I think Mick puts another solo album out in 87, but there's no touring because, again, they can't even stand each other at this point most of the time. So, and this is also the last album with Ian Stewart, unfortunately. During the recording of this, he dies at age 47 of a heart attack. There is one little tribute to him at the end of the album. It was a hidden track, but all the digital albums have made it visible, so it displays it as an actual track, even though it's like a couple seconds long. But we'll get to that in a second. So we go to that. We have the album is called, of course, Dirty Work. Not Dirty Works, but Dirty Work. That is the name of it. And we have the following tracks on it. Side 1 has the following. One Hit to the Body is the one I think that is on 40 Licks. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's on there. That's a Jagger Richards Wood tune. Fight is next. Also, same 3. Harlem Shuffle, which I'd never heard before. It's apparently some kind of a cover. Bob Relf and Ernest Nilsson. Hold Back. It's just Jagger Richards. 5 is Too Rude. Lyndon Roberts. I'm not sure who that is. That was a cover or someone that they brought in. Side 2. Winnie Ugly is Jagger Richards. 2. Back to Zero. Same. Jagger Richards and Chuck Leavell. It's one of the session guys. Dirty Work is next. Jagger Richards and Wood. Had It With You. Jagger Richards Wood. Yeah, they're so dysfunctional right now. They don't even have like the same credits on everything. It just was not a good place for the band to be at this stage. And then Sleep Tonight includes a hidden track of Keys to the Highway, that blues tune. That's what Ronnie Wood is, Ian Stewart's playing very briefly on a piano, and you can kind of hear the main song is Jagger Richards, but Keys to the Highway, I'm not sure who wrote that, but you can kind of hear that first part of the verse of that song. Oh, okay. It's by Big Blue Brunsey and Charles Seeger. But yeah, the Apple Music definitely has it as a separate track 11 instead of 10, so it is separate. I wish it was longer because it was kind of fun to hear him just play by himself to get his kind of style, but it's just, I don't even know if it's 30 seconds, but it's neat. Nice little tribute to the guy who's literally on almost basically every album they've ever made. He's done pianos and keyboards and stuff everywhere. No longer. I know some other guys were coming in, and they were with him for decades after this, but it's so sad to see no more Ian Stewart tracks playing on them, so sad stuff. Our personnel, though, Mick Jagger and lead and backing vocals and harmonica. Keith Richards on electric and acoustic guitar, piano backing vocals. Of course, on Too Rude is his lead vocal track. And Sleep Tonight, two Richards vocals. He does a good job vocally, I think. I kind of like some of his vocal stuff. Ronnie Wood, electric, pedal, and steel guitar, and bass guitar, and tenor saxophone, and backing vocals and drums. So Mr. Wood is busy. Bill Wyman, bass guitar and synthesizer. It seems to be his new thing now, is playing that and bass. Charlie Watts is on drums. Additional guys we've got here are Chuck Leavell on keyboards. Okay, so the keyboard guy, he helped write that other song. I couldn't think of what he played. Ivan Neville, backing vocals, bass guitar, organ, and synthesizer. Jimmy Page, lead electric guitar, one hit to the body. So he's, of course, not in Zeppelin. Zeppelin's gone. He's around still, doing stuff. Bobby Womack on backing vocals and electric guitar, who George Harrison found at Apple and got signed and gave him Sour Milk Sea to do, and I'm not sure what other things, but he did other things past that, but he's on here. Philippe Sayce, keyboards, I'm not sure if that's how that's pronounced. Anton Fig is on shakers. John Regan, bass guitar. Don Collette on trumpet. Ian Stewart, piano on Key to the Highway, of course. Yeah, there are a little bit of horns on this album. Just a tiny bit of horns. Mark Arribas, percussion. Jimmy Cliff, Don D'Angelo. Billy D'Angelo, sorry. Kirsty McCole and Delette MC McDonald and Dennis Pendarvis. Pieta Cialfa and Tom Waits on backing vocals. Yes, Tom Waits and Jimmy Cliff and a bunch of other people are on this thing as kind of a choir. Of course, Jimmy Cliff just died about several days ago now. Who I always liked him. Liked his voice. A lot, actually. Production people, engineered by Dave Jordan, I think. Yeah, they brought in another guy to help them out here. Steve Parker was additional engineer. Yeah, they couldn't even produce it. It's not a good period for them to be around each other. So bringing in some other people to help, maybe diffuse tension. I'm not sure, but assistant engineer Sam Critch and Mike Krowiak. Not sure. It was recorded in Paris. Mixed two studios in New York. Janet Pear was art and packaging design, art direction, photography. Annie Leibovitz. Inner Sleep artwork is Mark Marek. Not sure exactly. Some names there I don't quite know how to pronounce with the screen reader, and even if I had Braille, I probably would mess it up too. So, but a good album anyway. I think it's worth a listen, especially for the Ian Stewart thing at the end. Rest in peace, Ian Stewart. That's too bad. Of course, Billy Preston's gone too. He was also good. But yeah, no more Ian Stewart after this. A couple of guys are going to be on many albums to come. So yeah, we'll have to jump all the way to 89 next for Steel Wheels, which again I've never heard anything on that I know of. I've not looked that one up to see what's on it, but I don't know if I'm going to know anything off of it. The only album I remember them making new is Bridges to Babylon. So that's two albums past that we're going to be next. But we'll head to 89 next time, and we'll see what kind of things are going on. If maybe they start sorting out themselves. I don't know. We'll see. Drugs and direction, and just you're around people long enough, you just kind of go, I don't want to deal with you. But obviously they must work it out because they're still around more or less to this day. So they put an album last year, so I think it was last year. As I record this, it's not 26 yet, so it's still It's December 12th of 25 right now, as I record this video. But we will go next time. I think there's only about 5 left, so I should be able to wrap it up next week as I record this. And I will probably want to 80 myself and do another totally unrelated band next, but I'll go through their catalog as much as I can. But we'll head to 89 next time in another video.